Namaste, guys. ChristianRLong, Life Enhancement Consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Wednesday evening here, 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. We're jumping on for our daily dose of growth, challenges designed to grow your soul and help you become a better person. Elizabeth, Namaste. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are on challenge number 16 for the day. Denise, Namaste. And Jessica, Namaste. And I was just mixing it up with my brothers, texting each other. We are ruthless when we're teasing each other because we're brothers and 3 boys. Which is funny because I'm the baby in the family. So my brothers are 10 and 11 years older than me. So I'm the baby in the family that they had to love and protect and provide for. And then as I grew up into a teenager and developed my own personality and no longer needed their tender, loving care, I became ruthless with them. So when we text each other, it's a good time. And my brother just recovered from the coronavirus. He had that last week. He's healed. He's moving forward. He's probably going to go back to work tomorrow. All is well in the Long household. Tina, Namaste. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully, let me know if you can hear me clearly. I have the AC on. My friend Chris was here yesterday for lunch, and he goes, "Is it always this hot in here?" And I was like, "You need to relax." Karen, Namaste. Okay, very strange. I can't hear you. I will shut my phone off and come back. Can you guys hear me? Not hear me? Oh wow, great. That is healthy. Yes, Denise can hear me. Amanda, Namaste. Welcome to the party. So, our challenge for today, challenge number 16 of at least 60 different challenges. What are we going to be talking about today? Well, I'm glad you asked. So our challenge this morning at 8 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time was look at a blank wall. Imagine, not literally, look at a blank wall and imagine one of those clocks that you would see in school, the black and white clocks, in your imagination. See it, hear it, go second by 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 second for 15 minutes. All right, so Tina and Elena did it. Joanna did it. Denise did it. Amanda did it. Who else? Oh, Karen did it. Good job, girl. My hair is doing its own thing. Just one of those days, guys. I think my body has been fighting something, but I haven't fully let it rest. It is what it is, and I'll have to do my own healing practice on myself to move forward. So, give me your feedback of setting your timer for 15 minutes, imagining a clock in front of you for 15 minutes, and watching the seconds go by and paying attention to it. What did you notice? Oh, Karen. What did you notice over the past 15 minutes of doing it? So we did it, we didn't do it, we did it, we didn't do it, we did it, we didn't do it. What was your awareness? What were you aware of before the challenge? What thoughts and feelings came up for you? What awareness did you have during the challenge? The thoughts and feelings. And what awareness did you get after the challenge? So I'll wait for you guys to jump in, make it happen. Elena said it was hard for her to focus on she was getting tired. Good awareness. What else? What else? So Elena was doing the challenge for 15 minutes. For focusing, her body got tired. What else? I feel like I had 7 other things to say today. We finished the weekly newsletter as a side note while you guys are bringing in feedback. So right below this video, if you're watching this live on Facebook, right below this video is the 6th year anniversary of the MCKS Pranic Healing newsletter. 6th year anniversary. That's 312 editions. Each edition takes about 2 to 2.5 hours to write of my blood, sweat, and prana in it. Does anyone have a calculator? This would be fun, just for me. Can someone, well, I can calculate it myself. It's not that difficult. So let's see. 312 newsletters, let's say 2 hours a piece, that's 624 hours. There's 168 hours in a week. So that would be about 4.5. So if you add the extra half hour, so almost 5 weeks. Holy moly, that's almost 5 weeks of real time writing the newsletter. That's aggressive. 5 weeks of real time dedicated over the past 6 years to writing the newsletter. Man, it's pretty amazing because there's 168 hours in a week, right? So if you did 2.5 hours times 312, that would be our number. Cool. It's pretty amazing. Okay, now we got some responses. Okay, everyone, hold on. So Tina says, I did focus but was aware that my eyes kept floating outside of the clock but still on wall. Okay, good awareness. Good. Jessica's back on, ready to go. Okay, so I don't know what the issue is. I can't hear, but I did it. I was interested at first hand, had a hard time seeing the clock, but I stayed with it. Didn't entirely ever see the clock, but I heard the clock and stayed with it the whole time. Excellent. Was 30 seconds earlier than the timer, but not bad. Amazing. I will come back tomorrow and see if I can hear you. Perfect. Love you, girl. Nothing really came up. I wasn't excited. I wasn't resisting either, that's progress. During it was okay. Was focused most of the time. Get it? Then got a little sleepy, but kept getting back at it. Beautiful. Amanda says first 5 minutes was fine. Then it became more difficult. I was hard not to close my eyes. Good awareness. I couldn't hear the ticking. I kept with time though. Did anyone have challenges doing the visual time and the ticking of the time? Denise says, thought I wasn't going to do it for the whole 15 minutes. I was able to finish. Yeah. My 15 minutes was off a little. My rhythm was steady and I was focused to the end. Beautiful. Beginning was rough to get in the groove. As I went on, I got better. Perfect. I did it twice and had better results second time. Good. Antonella, namaste. Good to have you back on. Denise says, visualize the clock, the second hand and minute hand. Oh, very good. Nice. What else? Anything else that you guys wanted to share about today's challenge? Before, during, and after. Before, during, and after. And again, the challenge was look at the wall. Imagine a white and black clock on the wall with hour hand, minute hands, and second hands. And hear the second hand ticking every second. And see the second hand moving every second for 15 minutes. That was your assignment or challenge. Couldn't hear the sound of ticking. Okay. Interesting. So you guys had a hard time with that. It seems like everyone had a hard time with that. Okay. We'll talk a little bit about that. Hear you on the computer. Sweet. Way to find the solution, Jessica. You will not be denied. Anything else? Anything else that you guys want to share? Any other feedback before we go into the higher teachings? Joanna says, whoa. Joanna says a lot. Before I actually did it, I was able to vision it and hear the second hand. During it, I was able to I was able to concentrate on the clock. I even see the hesitation of the second hand ticking as if we're falling back a little. Good. In the middle, I became distracted by my Yorkie and background noise, understandable, and lost concentration. And just before it ended, I started dozing off and caught myself and was able to focus on it again. Most of you started falling asleep. Did you notice that? After I finished, I realized I have to try and focus more, but with attention deficit disorder, that has always been a challenge. Good. Remind me of that last part. Tina says, I basically saw the main numbers, not so much the seconds. Okay, fair. Steven says, got lots going on, took a breath to check Facebook, tuning in. I still will be intuitively working with time on emails, texts, and other I need to address. So shout out, I should hear you. Okay, you can't hear me. Good to have you on, Steven. I didn't see any numbers. So most of us got sleepy. Correct. Suresh, Abba Namaste. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good. Well, wait. I want Suresh to say, I did it, I didn't do it, and what his feedback was before we continue. If that's all right with the group, we want to move at the moderate pace of everybody. This is not water, but this is this lemonella LaCroix. I love it. It's amazing. I don't care what people say about it. It became very blurry, and then difficult to keep my eyes open. Okay, good. Did it, was difficult, almost fell into meditation. Another person going down. Some moments of good focus. Excellent. Good. Thank you, Suresh, for sharing. Okay. So, there's many different directions that we could go. Because this is an open forum, and I have an idea of where most of you are at, there's certain things we can reveal, there's certain things that we can't reveal, there's certain things that we can talk about, certain things that we can't talk about. So my job as a facilitator of these challenges is to what? Plant seeds in you guys that inspire you, do the challenges, get feedback, and then it opens up doorways in your consciousness to understand different things, practice different things, look at things in different ways, right? So when we talk about the higher truths, it's not exhaustive. Does that make sense? So we just give little nuggets here, little tidbits here, because I can't go into the higher teachings, because as you keep going higher and higher into the teachings, it opens up what? More and more questions, right? That some people may or may not be ready for. Make sense? So Suresh says, also kept blinking a lot. Was hard to look at the wall. Hard to look at the wall. Okay. Blinking a lot. Interesting. God, there's so much that could be said. Okay. Okay, so to give you guys an understanding, you have certain psychic abilities, right? You have clairsentience, which means feeling clearly, feeling the subtle world. So you can scan your aura, you can scan your chakras, you can scan stress energy, prosperity energy, love energy, fear energy. Everything has energy connected to it. So one's ability to scan something is called clairsentience. It's the first ability that you develop in pranic healing. It's the first ability that you develop in pranic healing. So clairsentience is connected, all the higher faculties are connected to the heart, but in order for you to be accurate with scanning, you need to have your heart activated. And then when you scan, you're more sensitive. So if your heart's closed, it's hard for you to feel subtle energies. So far, so good? Then you have clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is connected to the, without getting into too much detail, connected to the forehead chakra. The forehead chakra allows you to see the inner world. It allows you to see the aura. It allows you to see the chakras. It allows you to see chords. It allows you to see the angels, the deities, the devas. Automama Namaste. It allows you to see the inner world. So when you hear the expression heaven in the Bible, heaven means the energy world. Heaven is not neither here nor there, but within you. It means the energy world. So people who have developed forehead chakra can see the energy world. People who have good clairsentience can feel the inner world. Sherry, I'm a namaste. Good to have you on officially. People who have clairvoyance can see the inner world or energy world. And then you have clairaudience. Clairaudience, which is connected to the throat chakra. Interesting, right? So people that can hear the inner world, hear voices, hear guidance, hear angels, hear certain things, even hearing people's thoughts, throat chakra. So far? So clairsentience is feeling. Primarily the heart helps with that. Clairvoyance is the forehead chakra, which helps you see the inner world. And then clairaudience is connected to the throat chakra, which allows you to hear the inner world. Make sense? Jillian, namaste. So when we had today's challenge, you're working on your ability to focus. Your ability to focus. So when you're focusing, which chakra are you using? So we talked about the heart chakra that helps with awareness, helps with sensitivity. So when you're focused like a laser beam, which chakra are you using? When you're focused like a laser beam, which chakra are you using? I'll wait for a response. When you're focused like a laser beam, which chakra are you using? Ajna. Very good, Denise. So the Ajna chakra is right here in between the eyebrows. This is the chakra of higher will, of abstract thinking, and it directs energy. So when you're focusing on the clock on the wall, you're using the Ajna chakra because you're focused on only one thing and one thing only. The clock and its movement. Good job, Suresh. Good job, Joanna. The clock and its movement. So you're not being aware of 12 different things at one time, right? You're not being aware of your physical body. You're not being aware of your feelings. You're not being aware of your thoughts. You're not being aware of higher spiritual activities. You're only being aware of what? The clock. And what's that clock doing? So what you're doing is developing the Ajna chakra when you're staring at the wall and not being deviated. So when you have a busy project or when you have a busy day at work and you're quote unquote in the flow, what you're doing is taking your Ajna chakra and focusing it on the task at hand. So you're penetrating a subject very, very deeply versus awareness. So some of you noticed, you guys ready? Some of you noticed that you started to get sleepy and tired. Why? Partly, your Ajna chakra was being used too much in a way that you're not used to using it, so it started to become congested. So it gets congested and then it congests your eyes, it makes your eyes feel heavy. Also, as this is getting negatively affected and weakening, it activates your forehead chakra, which brings about a meditative state. So you guys weren't sleepy because you were in the mood to take a nap. You were partially sleepy because you were depleted. You were partially sleepy because you were congested. And you were partially sleepy because you were activating your other faculty. Make sense? So again, we're just planting seeds. We're not giving the step-by-step protocols of what's going on in the higher levels. I'm not authorized to do that. Right? I'm not authorized to do that. I can't teach you guys Arhatic. I can't teach you the higher classes of Master Choa. I'm not authorized to do that. We don't do that in public forums. We do that in classes by approved instructors and approved masters. Right? So my job is just to plant seeds and go, I never thought about it like that. Interesting. Okay, that makes sense. So Jessica says, I will just have to watch this later. You froze on me. No. Why? So I'm always pointing you guys back to Master Choa. His books, his CDs, books, CDs, his courses, and with his certified instructors and masters. Make sense? That's my job. So whenever I plant a seed with you guys, I'm saying, go back to the teacher, go back to the teacher, go back to the teacher. I'm the guy that mixes up and gives you guys some inspiration. Go, that's pretty cool. I want to learn more. Well, guess what? Learning more, you either A, work with me one-on-one as a client, different story, or B, you take the classes and you get the totality of the technique and the practices. Make sense? But this practice, this challenge number 16, I'm pulling from a book called Initiation into Hermetics by Franz Barden, who is a great teacher, and a book recommended by Master Choa. Master Choa had a recommended reading list for Arhatic yogis. That is one of the books that is on the reading list. Initiation into Hermetics. But that practice will help develop your ajna and strengthen it. Also, if you're getting frustrated, this is another key point. If you're getting frustrated doing the challenge or doing the practice, you're using emotional will. You're using emotional will, not higher will. So when you're aggressive and you're jacked up and you're excited, solar plexus. I'm saying be still, activate your ajna, and then look at the clock. What's being stimulated as I'm doing it, the practice, is my ajna and my throat. Because I'm trying to hear the clock and I'm trying to focus on the clock. Okay? Trust me, there are much higher levels of practices and teachings to what we covered. But I'm just sprinkling some energy and teachings. Make sense? Any questions about today's challenge? I'm super, super proud of each and every one of you for doing it. I know it wasn't easy. By the way, to go back to what Joanna said about ADHD, that is a how to put this? That is a limited belief and program that keeps a soul anchored to that program. Meaning, you're a little kid and you're diagnosed with X, Y, and Z, that you're brilliant or you're stupid, you will live up to those expectations. This study has been done over and over and over again of calling children gifted and their test scores go up even though they were not gifted children. It also worked with children that had high SAT scores and that they were considered not to be the most intelligent or have below average intelligence. And guess what? They've bought into that as well. So yes, we do have tendencies and we do have weaknesses, but to say I am this ailment, I am this disorder, I am fill in the blank of a limited belief, you become that. Right? This isn't about airy-fairy positive thinking or anything like that. It has to do with you are the soul, period. End of story. You are the soul. So that means you're a being of light, intelligence, you're a being of love, nurturing, and you're a being of power or will, making things happen. So that is what you need to go back to. Does everyone have differing degrees of light, love, and power in their incarnated soul? Yes. But if they keep identifying with their weaknesses, they become weaker and weaker versus identifying with what? The qualities of the soul. I am that I am. I am light, I am love, I am power. This soul, ChristianRLong, this soul has weaknesses. It was born with certain weaknesses, with certain limitations, with certain negative tendencies. But I am not those things. I am the soul. So as I keep reminding myself day after day, month after month, year after year, decade after decade of I am that I am, I become empowered, I become liberated, I become free from the lower levels of truth. Tina says, yes. Can I get an amen? Denise says, always use positive words. Did that with my kids. Good. Very, very good. So as a being of power and a being of will, you're constantly creating. So when you speak, you create. If you speak negative things, you create negative situations. If you speak positive things, you create positive situations. I know it sounds so trite and so simplistic and so duh, but the question is, are you doing it every day of your life? Tina's getting chills. Get it, girl. You go, I'm positive most of the time. Well, what does that mean? You're positive most of the week? You're positive most of the day? You're positive most of the hour? You're positive most moments by moments? Where do you fit in that spectrum of positivity? The words that follow, I am blank, create your future, determine your destiny. I cannot tell you how many people I've heard over the years, online, offline, face-to-face, clients, non-clients, co-disciples, everybody in between, identify, myself included, identify with a disorder that they have. I am a this, I am a that, I am a this, I am a that, right? And that shrinks their energy body. I'm trying to think, so you guys are familiar with AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, NA, Narcotics Anonymous, SA, Sex Addicts Anonymous, right? SAA, right? Beautiful teachings, beautiful practices, but the one thing I highly disagree with is the person standing up and saying, hi, my name is John, and I'm a fill in the blank. Because they're doing it for the purpose of realizing that they are powerless on their own and to connect to God. So you have to kind of read between the lines. But to say I am that addiction, not good. It doesn't help them. So if you're going to identify with something, identify with being what? The soul. Being a being of light, love, and power. That is what I identify with. Those are the qualities that I meditate on. That's who and what I am. Versus I'm a woman, I'm a man, I'm an addict, I have temper issues, whatever. Right? Whatever people associate with. Because when you start associating with lower levels of truth, you start defending those lower levels of truth. You ever notice that? When you're in the wrong about something or you feel attacked by someone, you start puffing up and becoming defensive. What is there to defend? If you're the soul, I am light, I am love, I am power. If I am that I am, and somebody goes, well, you're something stupid. Whatever, you're stupid. I know someone in my life that gets very emotional if somebody thinks she's stupid, or thinks she's ignorant, or thinks she doesn't know anything. It gets her super worked up. Why? Because she has negative pride around her intelligence. But if I called her a tree, I said, you're a tree, she wouldn't be offended at all. Why? Because she's not a tree. But she thinks that she is her intelligence. Connect with a very smart person, and if that very smart person has humility, and you say, you're not really that smart, they could go, well, let's see, I guess relative to the geniuses throughout history, I might probably be on the lower level, but in general, I have above average intelligence. So they have a level of humility, right? Humility means seeing something as it is, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses. But if they are identified as being an intelligent person and you insult their intelligence, what do? They take it personally. How dare you, sir? I think part of it has to do with I had to overcome people's perceptions of me as I was building my healing practice, because energy healing is considered what? Not mainstream. Energy healing is considered what? Weird, odd, different, strange, peculiar, airy-fairy, ungrounded. Sarah, good to have you on. Namaste. Whatever, right? But guess what? I am not that. I'm light, love, and power. I am not that. So whatever anyone wants to say about energy healers, yogis, meditators, discipleship, whatever they want to say, okay, fine. Doesn't matter. I'm the soul. Good job, Sarah. I did not do it. Okay. Thank you for your responsibility. Thank you for your accountability. Thank you for taking ownership of that. I appreciate that. I'm glad you have that awareness. But does that make sense? You don't need to be offended. As one of my mentors said, and she keeps reminding me about this because I have my tendencies, right? She says, all the isms are not good. Isms, feminism, communism, socialism, capitalism, any ism is not good because it makes one see things through a certain filter, and it limits their possibility and potentiality, right? What is it called? Sadomasochism, any kind of ism. It doesn't matter where it falls on the spectrum because it shrinks things. Samantha, namaste. Anyways, so I know we went on a little tangent right there, but I always like to add a little extra value in the evenings because I love to hear myself talk. So if you have any need for healing, feel free to connect with me. Go to my website, ChristianRLong.com, schedule a healing session. We do 30 minutes of coaching, 30 minutes of healing, 30 minutes of coaching to get awareness, 30 minutes of healing to transform your energy body around that awareness. Let's say you have awareness of anger and trauma. Great. Then we remove the anger and trauma during the healing portion. Let's say you have awareness around low self-esteem and fear of abandonment. Then we remove those things during the healing. Make sense? Excellent. And please feel free to share this stream on your personal and professional Facebook page or somewhere else on social media. Feel free to share the newsletter. We just celebrated our 6 years of the newsletter, so feel free to share that. Tina says, interesting topic. Yeah, this information is infinitely interesting and complex. I mean, if you look at some of the books written by some of the great spiritual teachers of the last 100 years, the books, one of their books is like that thick, and they wrote like 5 to 10 of those books, and you're like, not only do I have to read this to know it, but then I have to understand what I read, and then not only do I have to understand what I read, I have to practice what I read. This could take a lifetime. Welcome to the spiritual path. By the way, I meant to say this earlier on in meditation today. The spiritual path simply means the yearning for oneness. How do you know you're on the spiritual path? You yearn for oneness. Oneness with what? Oneness with your higher soul and oneness with God. That's the spiritual path. So if you have yearning, then you're on the spiritual path. If you're not yearning, maybe not there yet. Have an amazing evening too, Joanna. You're amazing. So that's it, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you for sharing your time and energy with the group. Thank you for doing the challenges. Thank you for taking responsibility for doing or not doing the challenges. And tomorrow is another day for a brand new challenge that should be exciting, should stretch you mentally, emotionally, etherically, physically, financially, spiritually, or all of them at the same time. I have a quick healing to do. Love you guys very much. This is Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consultant. Wishing you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma, namaste. Bye-bye.